on this week's episode of Weekend Shenanigans. Stump grinding with the old man. Carrot wood that we had to cut down because the thing got too big for its own good. Ended up cracking the pavement real bad. Check out, we've been building these pilasters here in this sort of arbor to shade the space using these screens. This is all new. My father's done all the stonework. I helped set the blocks and helped him put together the pilasters. I did all the welding for these bolts and stuff up here. But yeah, just grinding it out. Holy hell. Too bad this thing takes two hands. Didn't get much footage of the actual grinding. To say this was a difficult experience would be an understatement. Look at that size pile there, bigger than the stump itself. It's hot out here. It's about 90 something degrees. I was sweating like a nun in a cucumber patch. So, glad we got it done though. Need to get done. Now we gotta rush and get this thing back before the 4-hour rental is up. But, god damn. And whoever designed this, whatever asshole, they put the exhaust so that when you stand here to operate it, it blows the hot exhaust right in your face. Oh, it's just a beautiful, beautiful feature. Yeah, that's just great. Well, please excuse any wind noise. Finally got all the parts needed to get this guy all set up and put back together. New flexible hoses, new hydraulic cylinders, and several new fittings. A quick brief overview of what I discovered with this endeavor. So cylinders, apparently for hydraulic systems, are usually measured off of the bore, the stroke, and then maximum length, extended and contracted, and then also the fittings on them. The fittings on these are different from regular standard pipe fittings in that, set these guys down, they use a 37-degree taper here, a straight cut thread, so a non-tapered thread like the pipes in your house use, and they use what do they call them, dash sizes. So like this is a 3/8 size fitting. This would be a -6. The original lines on this 37-degree taper, these are -10, I believe. Yeah, -10 JIC fittings. And so as long as you use those and JIC fittings and whatnot, it all seems to go together. The only other thing is this thread down here, which if you look on this guy, this is also a straight cut thread, 3/8, except it doesn't have the 37-degree taper. It has an O-ring, and this is called, this would be a -6 O-ring boss, is what they call this. Anyways, let's get all this shit together and get this thing working. Alrighty then, that's all hoses and fittings hooked up. So the next thing to do will be to top off the reservoir, since I lost a fair little bit removing the old cylinders. We got a little bit left in that container. So top it off, fire her up, bleed the system, grease these Zerk fittings here, and take her out for a spin. Alrighty then. I cleaned up the gauge cluster. I'll show footage of that in a little bit. Let's see, we need fuel on. Okay, we got fuel. This thing, check, make sure we're in neutral. Clutch is working. Put both in neutral. Come on, baby. Whoa, the needle's moving this time. Come on. More throttle. Come on, baby. Yeah, baby! We got tack! Hell yeah! Alright, so now to try this guy. Oh, that's not good. Gotta tighten up fittings. Okay, take two. Let's see if she squirts again. Whoa, easy there, easy, buddy. Get her up in the air. Slowly work her lock to lock. Oh, that's excellent. She's working. Let's extend her. And go grease those Zerk fittings. Uh-oh. Come on. Alright, we're showing no RPM. Alrighty, back in the shop again. Today working on the e-brake for the Datsun. So I took this apart, and the e-brake goes into, well, it's in the transmission tunnel, but there's this little ball here, and there's a plastic sleeve that goes on it. And this guy mates into a, cup-shaped thing on the opposite side of the transmission tunnel. Well, when I took it out, there was a rubber sort of boot on it, and it was grease-filled. Although that had sort of, it'd seen better days. It was trash. Thing was post-toasted. So, I'm going to try and make a sort of cap, I guess. A spring-loaded cap. So I'll put a spring back here. I would need to find a washer that's about this shaft's diameter. And then once I ensure that it's larger than the sort of the little cup that this guy's in, I'll weld sheet metal all around it. And yeah, hopefully that'll keep, well, probably won't keep moisture out, but it'll definitely keep dirt and other contaminants out. And I'm going to put a real thick grease in there. Something that hopefully shouldn't wash away. But anyways, looking through my odd size washer collection. This is just a hodgepodge of all sorts of weird washers, but they're large sizes, very large sizes. And that's pretty close to our man right there. Yeah, I might just open that up. I don't know. Anywho, I'll sift through here and see if I can find a better candidate than this. Alrighty, a cup shape's been welded out. Doesn't look too horrible. I'm going to pound it perfectly round, grind down all the welds, and then I think I'm going to permanently fashion it to the shift thing. Although I got to check and make sure it'll fit inside. Actually, it might not fit inside. And in that case, I'll just stick with the spring. But anyways, this is basically it. Didn't come out too horrible. And through the miracles of video editing, there's the final thing-ish. Kind of ugly looking, but it'll get the job done. I'm going to go test fit it, see how she fits, and yeah, throw some paint on the outside, fill the inside with grease. I might even throw a Zerk fitting on this, just so that in the future, get it easier, because you don't want to have to pull this whole thing out of the transmission tunnel. Okay, so normally the transmission tunnel is going to have, I think originally it had vinyl. It was a diamond etched vinyl in the center. So you'd have to yank that off to pull this out. You don't want to do that to try and grease this little guy. So I'll drill tap it, throw a little Zerk fitting on. I got some of them here somewhere in the Empire of Dirt. So to show what I'm talking about, we're here in the transmission tunnel. And right up there's the cup. that the parking brake comes in this hole, goes across and into here, and there's a little plastic bushing. This guy's just gonna go right on top, just like that. And the shaft can spin inside. I'm gonna open this guy up a little bit more, maybe even put a grommet on it, and we'll spring load it from behind, Zerg fitting sticking out forever, and then the parking brake can go back in. You know what's horribly misleading about those car shows you watch? They always show, you know, the fun stuff, putting in the engines and stuff like that, replacing transmissions. They never show you the shit work, like this, rebuilding every little itty bitty piece of the parking brake assembly. And it doesn't come apart because it's got welded stuff on it and whatever. But yeah, it's, you know, it's just sitting there with sandpaper and dust everywhere, and or putting undercoating on the car. They never show that kind of stuff. They only show the fun stuff. So yeah, it's a real misleading thing. I'd say for the Datsun build that I'm working on, it's probably been about 95% boring crap like this that's just dirty and annoying versus actual fun crap like, you know, putting in the engine and replacing parts and stuff. I wish they were a little more honest about that on the shows. You know, show some guy underneath the car slaving away, sweating in the sun and the dirt. I think it'd be a little more accurate, you know. So today we finished most of the undercoating, hanging or putting back on the main brake lines for the e-brake. It's all clean, painted, reinstalled. There's a cup I made, and you can see it's just a perfect fit. Let's see if I can get it to, yeah, it's a perfect fit. Really happy with that. Anywho, yeah, looking